Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It has been a tough 2 years for all of us. Would you all agree?
Okay.
Salaries frozen, jobs cut, companies going bust. The graph of almost every company is on the decline. Why? What culminated in the bankruptcy of Lehman Brothers had started several years back. And let's talk about that today. The crisis of credit. Fellow Toastmasters.
Forward.
Right arrow.
There are two central characters in this big story. The homeowners and the investors. The homeowners are represented by their houses and
Oh, I'm sorry.
the homeowners are represented by their houses and the investors are represented by the insurance companies, the pension funds, the sovereign funds and the institutions. Several years ago, let's go back to the 90s, when investors had huge piles of money, and by huge I mean obscene amounts of money. They had money and they wanted to make it grow. So what would they do? They would go to the Federal Reserve, and the Federal Reserve would give them treasury bills, which would give them very nice returns. So they were very happy taking the treasury bills. But in came the dot-com bust, and then September 11th, economy went into a twill. The Federal Reserve cut the interest rate to only 1%, which was a very, very poor rate of interest. The investors with the huge piles of money said, no thank you. We do not want interest at 1%. So, Federal Reserve, which had this huge money with itself, had to do something. While the investors were unhappy, there was another group of people which were very happy, and those were the US banks. They now had the opportunity to take credit from the bank at a measly 1%. So, this 1% credit, and add to it the excess money available from China, Europe, Australia, led to the availability of cheap credit. Credit, credit, credit. It was credit all over the world, especially in the US. Now, what this resulted in is that the banks went crazy with leverage. To explain to you what exactly leverage means, let me take a small example of my favorite people, Ram and Shyam again. Ram has 1000 rupees. He goes to the market, purchases an item for 1000 rupees and sells it for 1200, making a profit of 200 rupees. In comes Shyam. He also has 100 rupees. What he does is goes to the market, takes 99,900 rupees on loan, so that his overall worth becomes 1 lakh. He then goes to the market, purchases goods worth 1 lakh rupees and then sells them for rupees 1 lakh and 12,000, making a profit of 12,000. From that 12,000, he goes, from the overall capital of 1 lakh 12,000, he goes back and returns the capital of 99,900. And on top of that, he gives him the loaners additional interest, say around 1,000 rupees. He still makes a profit of close to 12,000. This, my dear friends, is called leverage. And this is the very root of the credit crisis that I am talking about. Now, coming back to the crazy, crazy US banks. They thought of a way of connecting the central two characters, the homeowners and the investors. On the platform of leverage, they connected them through mortgages. I'll now come and explain to you how the whole flow works. Investors save money. The homeowners save money to pay their EMIs. When they want to purchase any home, they approach the broker. The broker connects them to the mortgage lenders, who are very happy to provide the loans to the people because they get monthly EMIs. The broker is very happy because he gets a good commission. The people are very happy because they get a home loan, and the very basic premise, which is a very basic flaw of this full flow, is that the prices of houses always go up. On that premise, everybody in this flow is very, very happy. Now, in comes from top the central character known as the investment banker. A person who's got a very bad name in this full story. This person is supposedly very, very greedy and absolutely crazy. He wants to make a lot of money. So what he does, he calls the mortgage lender. He says, come on, give me all the mortgages that you have. The mortgage lender sells the mortgages at a premium to the investment banker. The investment banker does some magic on all those mortgages. He's very happy because he now has a regular source of income. All the people are giving him regular monthly EMIs. Now, to this collection of mortgages, he applies some magic like a PC Sarkar and transforms them into something known as collateral debt obligations, or CDO. Now, he cuts those CDOs into three parts: safe, okay, and risky. These are the instruments which give low returns, okay give more, and the risky ones give more returns. The inflow into these boxes is the EMI from the homeowners. So as you see, if the amount of inflow, that is the EMI, becomes low, that is when people default, the lowest, the riskiest box would dry up first. Now, these instruments are rated by the credit agencies. Thus,
Oh, sorry. I don't know what's happening here. It says please escape.
press F5. F5. So these instruments are rated by the credit agencies. The safest ones give low returns, and therefore they are rated the safest, whereas the riskiest ones are not rated, but they give you more returns. Now, these instruments are available for the public to buy. The people with safer options purchase the safer ones, and the riskier ones are taken over by the hedge funds, which these are risky options. Now everybody is happy. Everybody has a piece in the pie. Now our shrewd investment banker gets very, very money-minded. He wants more money. So he calls up the mortgage broker and says, hey, come on, give me more mortgages. I can sell them off to people. The mortgage broker gets interested and calls the broker, asks him to get more people. The broker goes and looks for the people, but there are none. There is no one available who wants to purchase a home because all the eligible people have already bought homes. So what do? The investment banker and the mortgage lenders connive and decide to give away loans to people who don't deserve, without any income, without any down payment, just a free for all money. And this is a subprime mortgage. Giving mortgage to people who do not deserve the loans. So, what these two people with that subprime mortgage is effectively a bomb and is a very risky investment. And with that flow, those risky investments are again brought into by the investment banker into CDOs, distributed to all the people, and now everybody is sitting with a bomb in their hand. The bomb which is waiting to explode. And as was expected, people would start to default because they were given to people who never deserved the loans. So, one default results in a home, because once a person defaults, the home is taken over by the lender. Gradually, more and more people start defaulting, and all their loans turns into homes which are confiscated. Now there are so many homes available in the market that the supply is more and the demand is less. So the prices of house again go very, very, very down. The very basic premise that the prices of houses always go up is defeated. This leads the people who are in a position to pay to think that since the prices of houses are going down, why should we pay? Our EMI is worth this, and the actual cost of the value of the house is only this. So they decide not to pay up their loans. In effect, more houses, more supply, and in a chain reaction, the prices of houses keep coming down. Our cruel and intelligent, as you would call him, investment banker is now sitting on a pile of bombs. Bombs which nobody wants to purchase. Because everybody has a bomb right under him. So everybody says, I don't want bombs. Neither the investment banker, nor the common public, nor the mortgage lenders. Everybody is in a stop mode, and effectively the whole economy is frozen. Everybody goes bankrupt. Everybody is belly up. And this leads us to the bankruptcy of Lehman Brothers, and then what happened after that is well known to each and every one of us. Things have not been very rosy, but luckily things are now shaping up. The economy is gradually is improving, and we can hope that things only get better. Let's hope that the investment bankers get back their jobs, because there was a time when people used to say that pizza is better than investment bankers. And do you know why? Because they said at least a pizza can feed a family of 4. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Prateek. We were all spellbound. Very nice. Can we take 2 minutes to evaluate both the speeches? A small slip is there in front of you. You can evaluate and give it to the person. Let us move forward with the story now. What happens? Our hero is going and searching for girls to get married now. And he was thrown away by a couple of parents and also abused by a couple of families. But there is one girl who is really interested in marrying this boy. Her father or her parents scold her like anything. Why do you really have to go and marry this guy who will divorce you within a week's time? Do you really need this life? Do you really want to get married and come back to us after a week's time? I don't think it's fair.